We are very honored to present my paper talk about Vietnam economic reform. The thinking for our country that now is very different 20 years ago about the economy. Before with system our country did a planned economy. Now we change another system with the free market. And the country before with everything controlled from government. And the unification in 1975 and from 1975 to 85, big problem. And the country every year we import 450,000 tons of rice. But now we change the policy from government. The government sent to the farmer the land, and later, 1988, we export rice. Number third export rice in the world. And from 1989 to now, every year we export 3.5 tons of rice every year. And now we have another problem. The farmer easy to produce the rice, but not easy to sell the rice. It's the question. Now later we talk to you about education system in Vietnam, how to serve it for society, serve it for the farmer. And thanks for economic reform, we stopped inflation in 1986, 774%, down to 67% in 2007, and about 12%. And the markets now are better in Vietnam compared with the planned economy before. And now 2007, we have 8%. The 1 year, we become a member of WTO. Foreign direct investment, we have the 20 million US dollar. And relationship Vietnam and America, about 12 billion US dollar 2007. And now Vietnam overseas, we have 5 billion US dollar send the money to our country. And GDP now in Vietnam, 835 US dollar. Compared with before economic reform, we had only 80 US dollar. And it means some point in Vietnam, we trade agreement with EU in 1992. And 1995, we are the member ASEAN, free of trade Asia. 2001, we had a bilateral trade agreement with United States of America. And 2002, we begin in negotiation to become a member of WTO. And 2007, we are the member. And the country is very good economic, but the country, another idea, another point, more important point, the foreign direct investment, deep in open the mind. Before, we are very conservative. We closed the door. And from 1985, we opened the door. And 1985 to 1996, the foreign direct investment every year 50%. And last year, 20 billion US dollar. Foreign direct investment in Vietnam, compared with 2006, only 10 billion. This year, 2008, we think about 30 billion US dollar foreign direct investment in Vietnam. But we have another problem a few months ago, because a lot of foreign direct investment in Vietnam, but we are not enough experience to control the country, and we have inflation in Vietnam now. Yeah, about more than 20%. For a few months. But 2-3 weeks now, it's better. The government to control economy, and maybe inflation will be reduced a little bit. And some important point for our country, for the poverty in Vietnam, very high percent the poor people. And from 1993 to 2002, we have the percent from 60 to 30% reduced for the poor people. This may thank for economic reform. And one point in Vietnam that it been reduce the importance for the state-owned enterprise, because the state-owned enterprise they control everything in the country, public sector, the planned economy, and big problem for society. And later, reduce percent of state-owned enterprise and better. And now private sector better and better in Vietnam. We have about 200,000 company private sector in Vietnam. Before, only 50 company. One province, one company, import, export. Now we have a lot of company deep in that open the door and better for the country, and special for private sector. And now we talk about the leadership in the future. We talk about how unification and how the young thinking for the people. And Vietnam and America, we had the Vietnam War with America. But now, relationship Vietnam and America are better because they invest a lot in Vietnam. We think for another chapter. Yeah? And for 2010, about 12 or 14 billion US dollar, Vietnam and America. And now we export a lot for the garment to America, and oil and the wood. And here some information before bilateral agreement with America, and later we had the member WTO, and the very high percent relationship business with Vietnam and America. And at some point in Vietnam, in the future, we would like to keep develop economic, but how to protect for the environment, how to keep more economic development cases, and even the reform for the company, reform the public sector, and even from the building the market economy, enjoy the international economic activity. Before we close the door, we don't have the relationship with another country, but the important point, more open. And another idea for education system in Vietnam, how to work for the country. Important point in education. Yesterday, a very interesting idea from professor in Italy talked about education system in Europe. In Vietnam, we have big problem because for a long time with the planned economy, we have many scholars study in China, study in Soviet Union. We are very grateful, very important. But now the world is changing. And the thinking, the new thinking, and education system in Vietnam not really fit with the free market. And infrastructure, we have another problem. We have a long time with the war, and infrastructure now, many difficulty. And bureaucracy in state-owned enterprise. The big problem for 30 years with planned economy. Now not easy to transfer another system on a few years. That means we continue to study. And very good for me. I come here to learn from many professors. It's been a good opportunity for our students to study in Europe and how to learn idea from the professor. A professor think that the future young leadership will be better. You think for the good relationship with EU and ASEAN. One point in Vietnam the salary is very, very low. You can see at Hanoi only $98 per month. And Ho Chi Minh City, $110 per month. The salary in university, professor, $250 per month. This means we have 85 million people, but income very low. And now, education system, very important. How to work and how to export our good for another country. Now in Japan, invest a lot in Vietnam, $5 billion. In Japan, work with many companies. And yeah, this means the very important point, education, and how to our students serve it for society. This means the professor talked before about the future BRIC country, and we learn from Korea. The Korea now about $20,000, and some country for India, China, Russia, and India, very big, very important. But in ASEAN, Japan and Korea, the experience learned from Western. At 130 years ago, this is the picture from Japan. 130 years ago, in Japan with the bamboo, and Europe with the gun, very good formal. But they knocked the door in Japan. But now Japan developed a very good economy, thanks for education. And Korea too. Korea learned from Japan. Professor talked about the Korea. Korea will be very good economic in the future. Even $81 billion. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, I would like to thank very much for Professor for your listen to read my paper today. Talk about economic reform. I think a good opportunity to come here to listen from you some advice for our country, special from the planned economy to free market. Thank you very much.